What's up, everyone? This is Medical Device Matt. Really excited for today's episode where I'm going to talk to you about how to sell a medical device to a physician to the hospital. Stay tuned because at the end I'm going to do some big reveal. Just kidding. I just hear people on Instagram and YouTube always say that to make you watch the whole video. But what I'm really excited today is to talk about how to sell medical devices. I'm still learning. I love going on the internet and researching these different sales methodologies, theories to help improve my game and be at the top. And I'm going to go over a couple of theories for how to sell medical devices. At the end of the day, we all know how to do this. And some people say, "Oh man, I would never do sales or this or that," and that's okay. But we all do sales. Obviously, I've been in medical device sales for 10 years, so I do it every single day. But an accountant does it, an engineer does it, articulating why more resources needed to be allocated to his or her project, right? Everyone's selling. And today I'm going to talk about a couple theories that, you're not going to go to a hospital and say, "Hey, I'm Matt Abrams. I'm a consultative sales rep. That's my theory and my dogma." You just do your job and get your product sold, right? You help patients, you help physicians, you help hospitals. So today I'm going to talk about a couple things. First, with doctors in your interviews, when someone asks you, "What's your sales process? What's your, how do you manage a territory?" It's not, I love to golf, so I get out with the customers and golf a lot. I'm a scratch golfer. Or, "Hey, I'm actually a shit golfer. I'm plus 20, but I'm spending 4 hours with my customers, and that's my sales process. I'm a relationship guy." Yeah, that could be a component of it, but let's think bigger. I'm in the business of entertainment. I do a lot of dinners and happy hours with Cath Lab. Yeah, that's again just a component. And some people have success with that, some don't. I'm really strategic. I like to think about my territory long term and think about what resources I could implement. Well, the first thing you said was strategy, right? So that's good strategic thinking, but that's not a sales process. That doesn't answer how do you sell medical devices? How do you influence physicians to use your product? And before I get there, I do want to give a couple of tips that I learned and that relate to the theories I'll bring up. First, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, which boils down to the simple fact that we need to listen more than we speak. A lot of times, physicians will give us the answers, customers, hospitals, nurses. Letting them speak, we understand their issues and current problems and current state, and we see how our product or service can help them, right? And a lot of times we speak too soon. A physician speaking, there's a pause. A lot of people jump to fill that pause, and you interrupt the physician who was about to say something that was revelatory, right? So let's talk about the theories. It's not the Matt Abrams brand, right? I don't go into a sales interview and say, "Hey, Matt, how do you sell?" And I say, "I deliver the Matt Abrams brand and service. White glove." First, the interviewing manager has no clue what the Matt Abrams brand is. He or she just met you today for the first time. Your resume doesn't really do a good job of capturing who you are, right? Yeah, there might be awards. "Hey, you're number 1 out of 100. That's really good. Congratulations to you." That's not me. "Oh, you hit P Club. Sounds like you know how to, perform and do well." And these resumes are more achievement. So how do you answer this question? What's your sales process? So let's talk about a couple of different theories. First is consultative selling, which I mentioned earlier. What's great is a lot of the companies teach on this method, and I have to look at my notes. I gotta get the theorists right on this. So this was an old school method developed by Robert Miller and Steve Hyman. And instead of dealing specifically with selling a product, you're looking at a prospect's concept of the product or service and relating it to the whole prospect's issues. And as I dive a little bit further in this, it's important to understand that there's different medical devices, different industries. No shit, right, Matt? There's a lot of different industries, neuro, cardiac. But I want you to emphasize and understand that there's different types of medical devices on the spectrum. CapEx, which will be larger, expensive items that the hospital might buy one time over a few years. And those sales reps are selling over years, developing these relationships to finally close on a 6-figure deal. That's a one-time purchase. And there might be a servicing revenue component to that, but let's just think of it as one large expenditure of capital from the hospital. Then where I've been for the last 10 years is implantable products, pacemakers, neurovascular stents, and what I currently do now, TAVR heart valves. A third type would be disposables. So items used in adjunct to patient care or surgery. So gloves, monitors, all the other things that are used just one time and they're not implantable. In these theories, some will be better for implantables, some would be better for CapEx, and some would be better for disposables. So as you navigate your career or try to break in, understand the product you're selling and your customers' needs. So back to conceptual selling. Emphasizes listening to your customers, asking a lot of questions to understand your customer's current state and current problems, and then relating that back to the service and how it can help them. And traditionally, a lot of salespeople have to unlearn. They have to listen, unlearn the urge to speak and spit out facts about their service or product and why it's the best or why it's the latest gadget. A lot of people are a bit jaded, and we're all selling mousetraps. So listen to your customer and see how you can help them in this consultative selling approach. Another sales theory is the Sandler selling life cycle. Check out this cool graphic. Wow. So I can send it to you if you want it. This I don't really do, but I want to talk about it because it brings up some points from earlier when I was making a couple jokes. First in the cycle is 1, bonding and rapport. So yeah, playing golf, doing dinners, happy hours is part of the sales cycle, and that's the first step in this method, which is building rapport so you can do the second, third, and fourth, which is upfront conversations, understand the physician's pain point, for understanding the budget, and you get there by building that rapport and wanting to help the physician, the customer, the hospital. The fifth, decision, review what's been covered and help them make a decision. 6, you make your presentation with all the information you gathered, you present to the customer. 7, they make the decision to purchase. 7 is to reassure that they made the right decision and continuing servicing that product, right? Consultative selling was the first one I reviewed. I like that the best, but Sandler, well, that's the second one we reviewed. Third, SPIN. I like this because it's simple acronym, SPIN. And this is all question-based. So a lot of these theories you see are based in, building the initial rapport, but then discovering the customer's needs and how you can implement your services as you think about that. SPIN is easy. S stands for situation. So what questions can you ask to understand the current situation? And this is going to lead into the next one, which is P, problem. What questions can you ask to help illustrate the current problem? How does this current problem impact the stakeholder, the physician? I, implication. So now you're going to ask implication questions. Hone in on the problem and ask questions to understand why the client needs to solve this, right? So this could be asking about, their current treatment of this procedure or disease state, and they're not happy with the need to go on a certain medication, and you have a product where they could use it and avoid using this medication, or maybe the follow-up can be reduced, or there's many different reasons, clinical benefits of why your product might be better. And then last, N, as in Nancy, not Mancy, is the need payoff. So you're not going to tell the physician, great, I've heard about your situation, your problem, why this needs to be solved, and now I'm going to tell you about my product and why we're going to bring it in and help you. You need to ask questions that lead your customer to that conclusion on themselves, to create an urgency for them to act and implement your system. And it's like, you did your sales job really well. The customer comes up with this idea that you guided them to about why they need to use your service. Last one, this one I've seen many different times. I saw this in my MBA, and it's kind of a classic sales that doesn't apply to medical devices, but it's a good theory and a good basis, which is AIDAS: attention, interest, desire, action, and satisfaction. AIDAS. It's kind of an old school theory. I'm going to read right from my paper and my notes. Prospect mind passes through 5 successive mental states. Presentation, or the sales rep's role, is to successfully lead the prospect through the right sequence for a sale to result. So you secure attention, you gain interest, you kindle desire, you induce action, you build satisfaction. That is old school sales. That's not what I do. So we reviewed a few theories. Like I said, you don't go into a hospital or you don't tell your colleagues, like, I'm a consultative sales rep. You do it through your actions. You show up every single day, and at the end of the day, you're delivering what I like to call the Matt Abrams brand. But this is how you sell to physicians. This is how you sell anything. There's nothing unique about selling a medical device. You're just trying to help them understand your mousetrap, your gadget, your Wizmo, right? And what's different about selling medical devices is the fact that you have a direct impact on patient lives. And that's one of the reasons why I love this industry and why I got in. I wanted to make an impact in healthcare. I wanted to be involved in patient care, and I found medical devices inadvertently, and I absolutely love it. So we think about these theories, and it's a nice, clean way to answer in an interview, Matt Abrams, what is your sales process? I could stumble and say, I'm a big relationship guy. I like to go out for beers with a cath lab. I like to golf. I like to do dinners. I like to think strategically how I could implement my VP or resources or medical education to help drive the business. I'm up at dawn in this pride swallowing siege. I walk away not really knowing what I said. The manager, I don't think, really understands what I said. But you could say in a crisper way, I follow the consultative selling approach where I discover the physician's needs and help implement solutions to solve that. I can meet customers that are loyalists or big time users of our product to help them get to the next stage. And I could also go after customers that have not been introduced to our product because I understand their current state and how to move and break into that hospital. So this video I'm excited for. It challenged me to speak again in front of a camera and also work on my presentation skills. But this is this week's episode of Medical Device Matt. Stay tuned for more. I'm still trying to deliver a video a week. And if anyone's ever interested in learning about medical devices or has questions, you can comment on my YouTube, the LinkedIn, or message me directly. It's been amazing talking to a lot of people who are interested in medical device industry. One didn't know about it, or two did, but didn't know how to first act to get in. So reach out. That's the biggest recommendation I have is LinkedIn and all the social networking and the technology we have today makes it so easy and makes this world feel so interconnected that there's a lot of people that would love to help.